are these songs? Sorry.
That's right.
Fucked up. So easy to fuck up. Right. And so why did you change from piano to an electronic style?
Well, for one, I like it. I'm inspired by a lot of electronic artists. Like Nine Inch Nails has always been one of my favorite bands my whole life. He knows piano and other like electronic elements, obviously more rock, but I always wished I could do something like that and never really could with just piano. I mean, I love piano music, but it's not my only interest. It's funny, I think some people think I only listen to piano music.
And so was the writing process the same as it has been previously for you?
No, it's a bit different. The previous album took me like years to write, and this one I wrote in about 3 months. I just basically sat at a synthesizer and wrote for a solid 3 months. It was a very intense period of time in my life, processing and stuff that was going on. So I just got it all out. I just wrote and wrote and wrote and
Channeled it straight into your music
yes,
as it was happening.
yeah. And productive writing. Every song I wrote, I was pleased with. That didn't used to happen. You know, I'd write like 50 songs and keep 8 or whatever. This time I wrote 20 songs and kept 20.
So entirely different.
Yeah, and 20 songs in 3 months is a lot. But I was doing nothing but writing.
Yeah, it was either write the album or shave all my hair off, and I decided to write an album.
I have shaved my hair off. Have you seen photos?
No. Oh, man.
I'm releasing a photo onto Facebook this week as part of my campaign, so you'll see.
Everyone's like...
Oh, I did show you.
I think you did, yeah.
I did.
Because I remember seeing a photo of you with really long hair. Have you seen a photo of you with really long hair?
There's not many of those. I haven't had very long hair very much. But I do have one that's pretty ridiculous that is going to be released. I've got like a surfboard and like really long hair, and I've like posed it against my organ, and I'm like...
Oh, really? Cheese-tastic.
I was like, what was I thinking? It's really funny now though, but...
Why? Look at the goal, which is it? Piano player, singer,
oh look, here's my
beach
surfboard.
babe, surfer, oh my god. There's nothing that she isn't.
I essentially get inspiration from my own life, and sometimes the people around me inspire those things. Basically, I can look at my friends' lives and interpret them and put them into songs. Just kidding. But they're not always about me, like not always from my perspective. I'm not performing many of them because there's so many layers to them. Like some of the songs I can't actually play. I can't do all the layers. Like one song is like 5 different synth sounds, so I'll be able to do that later when I get some gear that I can trigger sounds live with.
Will you pre-record some of the synth sounds so that you can layer more synth sounds over the top?
I think so. There's a few songs. One in particular has a very repetitive like loop that it does, and then I do a more complicated sound over the top of that. I can't play it now. I can play one or the other, and I kind of need the loop one. It's like the main part of the song. After production, we'll have that all ready, and I can just I can trigger it to start playing, and then I can play the piano.
Whoa.
And drums or whatever else is gonna have to have all these things.
So there's simpler sounds, but there's just more of them.
They're less busy,
Less twiddly.
Less twiddly. I like twiddly.
Twiddly piano.
I've had a twiddly career so far. So, but I think that I was doing the twiddly because I wanted other things to be in there. There's only so much you can do with piano. So now it's like I'm doing the synthesizer stuff, and I am able to do those other things, and it doesn't sound twiddly. It sounds right.
So we can expect a sort of Beethoven to Kraftwerk sort of.
It's gonna be like the Clockwork Orange soundtrack. Just kidding. I do have a word in one of my songs from my last album that I removed from the album because I was getting such a rise out of people.
Right. Can you tell us what the word was? Is?
It's cunt.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a danger of it slipping back in during a live performance?
Oh, it'll come back, yeah. Can't keep the C-bomb away. Didn't put it on the album though because it's just.
Well, it sort of has to be family friendly, your album, doesn't it?
I thought, does it? Does it? But the rest of the album kind of is, so, I just kind of. There was an actual reason I decided to take it off, and I can't remember what it was now.
You'll get a parental advisory sticker on your album case if you're not
Exactly. No, there was an actual reason, and it was something like. Oh, I remember what it was. We recorded both versions. We recorded with the C-bomb and without it, and it's the last word on the song called Hearted Beast, and the strings and everything I'd written on top of it, it worked fine when I was just playing piano, and but the strings and stuff that I'd written on top of it, it just felt funny at the end. It was just like this like punch in the face that wasn't like
It's
a way.
unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean it's supposed to be like a punch in the face, but it felt like a terrible punch in the face. Like, where did that come from? Like you don't expect it, but it
Didn't flow.
Yeah, but with just a piano song, it's like it's a bit raw, and you get to the end, you're like, oh, she said C-bomb, that makes sense. But with the strings, it was just like,
It was just misplaced.
what is that? Yeah,
Yeah.
so and I had written 2 versions initially for performing live in different circumstances, so I just recorded this version. There's no C-bombs in this album.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.